Okay. So wonderful to see you both today. How great to have you join us today. Happy Saturday, by the way. Happy Saturday. Nice to see you guys.
Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, um, Tech Talk Tony here. Excited to introduce Hermit and Fabio, who have written a wonderful book called Elevate, the Definitive Guide to Building a World-Class Support Organization, which is right in the realm of exactly what I've done most of my life. And this is a great book. Let me have you introduce yourselves. Let's share with the audience who you are, who you are.
Go
Absolutely.
ahead, Hemant.
Thank you, Fabio. Tony, great to be on your podcast today. My name is Hemant Verma. You can think of me as a, seasoned technical services leader with about 15 plus years of experience in building, leading, and scaling global support organizations. Fabio and I worked together for at least, a couple of decades, I would say, in Cisco Systems. He'd, of course, talk about that himself. But we work together in the services organization. Um, we are both passionate about technology, about customers, about, automation, AI, right?
Yeah.
And we both got together to write this book, which you just talked about. So, that's about me a little bit. I live in North Carolina. I'm married with two kids here. And I'm looking forward to, working with you on these podcasts that hopefully, will be helpful to a lot of the audience here. Fabio, to you.
Wonderful.
Great. Thank you, Hemant. So once again, Tony, we're very excited to be here. Very happy to have this opportunity to talk about the book. My name is Fabio de Moraes. I've been in the IT business for over 25 years. Like Hemant mentioned, we've been working together for a better part of 2 decades. And as we decided to go into different ventures within our career, we're looking at doing something different that was both educational and useful for the customer support community, if you will. And we decided to write this book. The book that we have here, it combines decades of real world experience, has
Right.
innovative strategy, empowers support leaders, and really builds a high performing customer focused organization that can actually thrive in today's dynamic landscape. So it's a smart technology integration. It talks about streamlined operations, knowledge management excellence, and so on. So we're very excited to talk a little bit about it and answer some of the questions you may have. So very, very good to be here.
Yeah, great. Well, when him and Fabio, when you guys approached me, let me just say one thing to kick us off. It was amazing because most of my career has been in support and managing those organizations. And the coolest thing that I saw in your book was the ability to turn a support organization from an overhead to an operating revenue generator. And this is something unique. I've actually done this in my career. We'll probably talk about that here today. But it's one of the things that actually kept me in that career and kept my boss saying, "No, we're going to keep support." They help make money for the organization, and there are many ways that I think you guys will be able to share with us how we can do that. But what a great topic coming from, just a cost center to turning it into something. And so let's just roll right in. Okay, you guys ready? I've got some tough questions for you today. I got some.
Hit us, hit
Okay,
us.
okay, great. Okay. So, what are some non-traditional ways to generate revenue when managing support teams?
Oof. All right, can I start, Hemant?
Yeah.
Can I take
That's
us
right.
at it?
Okay.
So imagine, you are a customer support leader.
Right.
And traditionally, your team is looked at as a necessary expense. Let's just think about it, right? It's very much,
Exactly. Exactly.
a necessary evil. You've got to have it. However, if you think about in terms of how many support conversations does your team really have each day with your customer? Dozens, hundreds, right?
Right.
Quite a bit. Now, think about how many insights they are hiding in plain sight with your customer. There's so much going on, the challenges that they go through, the things that they discuss, the power of either the product that you sold in regards to hardware, software, services, goods, whatever that might be. You can turn that into gold, in my opinion. So
Right.
imagine compiling all of those interactions, right? And organizing them into questions where customers can ask, track, decides about all the pinpoints, analyze, and use a pattern in creating maybe a report or a dashboard that actually can be used in marketing teams, can be used in sales teams, can be used to be making smarter decisions as you go through this in your organization. So if you take that a step further, think
Right.
about packaging all of this into maybe a subscription-based model services, offering a lot of different information, market trends, product feedbacks, loops to partners, stakeholders, things of
Right.
that nature. So those are the things that I believe that could be very potential, good potential for a generating revenue in coming from a support organization, taking those little nuggets of information and putting them to work for your customer and also for the community that is a part of your customer network, if you will. How
Right.
about you, Hamid? What do you think?
That's great.
Yeah, no, absolutely spot on. So just expanding on, what Fabio said, non-traditional ways. These are really pretty straightforward ways, the tech support team talking to customers on a daily basis, not only solving their problems, but also going a step further by providing some kind of consultation to the customer, right? So, for example, this happens all the time. I call iPhone, so if I call my carrier, right,
Yeah.
they will immediately try to sell me the next model of the phone, and that's important because there are new features coming out all the time, right? So sometimes customers don't know. They're just running an old device, right? And they're running into issues. They are basically having downtime at the same time, not enjoying the latest features that are available. So tech support team that is, working with the customer on a very regular basis can, upsell the customer, not only in terms of product, but also service, right?
Yeah.
So they may be, running an older version. They need newer features. They may not even be aware of the new features, right, that are in the next version of the product. So basically, educating the customer, and giving them guidance in terms of, what is out there that they could move to, and then, making it sweeter by having a buyback kind of a deal.
Yeah.
The carrier does it all the time, right? They take your phone, they'll give us your phone, we'll give you some discount, and here you go, right? So those are great, opportunities leveraging the tech support team. Other than that, a lot of times what the customers are, uh, they're not aware of is there a better service that they can get, right? So they are used
Right.
to reactively calling us and basically getting support on issues that they're having, but then there are better services that they may benefit from and
Yeah.
be willing to pay for, right?
That's right.
So having a tiered portfolio, and we talk about this in the book in the 5th chapter, okay? So how do
Excellent.
we present the customer with premium support packages? How do we educate them? How do we, basically provide them differentiated delivery based on their needs, right? So that's
Right.
another way of, generating revenue. And then the most important one, I think, which all companies, most companies use, I think, right, is learning from the customer's experience about the product.
Right.
What features are missing in the product, right? What are the pain points? How can we maybe enhance our product to become better than our competitor, right?
Right.
And sell the customer, more enhanced features or things that they care about, which are not currently in the product. So basically, enhancing the product by working with product development based on the features and requests coming from the customer side, right?
Yeah.
So that's another way that can be very lucrative, in terms of a business
Yeah.
proposition.
In both of these examples, you're talking about listening to the customers and understanding this is what we're supposed to do in customer experience. What do the customers need? How can we improve the product? If we listen to the customer of what you can improve, how do we improve the product? And I think a lot of people sometimes think that maybe this is just technology related, but one of the examples that I'm excited to share is I was working at a pharmacy company called Talist. It's been acquired now, and we provided support for hardware devices that dispense medication. And it was a bad time in the economy. Nobody could afford anything, but our customers were saying, "Listen, we get these gloves from McKesson, and we get these, other supplies from Cardinal Health. And based on that, we can't get the supplies that we need." Now, we were tech support, and what people discount is that tech support directly works with the customer. And if you're not paying attention to that, then you're missing potential opportunities. So when we realized that customers were telling me their pain, they were telling us their pain. Like, I need gloves, I need this, I need that. We came up with a list of 10 items. We never sold this before, but we came up a list with 10 items, gloves obviously being the top seller. And within 2 years, we were generating $100,000 of revenue, giving the company substantial money, especially during the summer months when software sales and hardware sales are slow. And so I want to go back to the key to this. The key, just like you both talked about, which is great that it's in the book, is listening to your customers. What exactly do they need? And so let's continue on. Excellent. You guys pass on that question, okay? But I got another one here for you, okay? Right around the corner. What example opportunities can you find to actually make money with?
Yeah.
Well, think about your team as educators, for example, right? They're already guiding customers, they're already talking through problems, they're already talking about what are the things that they need to be doing in order to either utilize the features of the product or the
Right.
services that they currently have in a much, much better way, either by the tier that was mentioned before or by doing something different. So what if they create short videos or training sessions or maybe
Yeah.
to master your own products, right? To make sure that those are available not just to them but also to their customers. What if you can package those courses into paid courses, or maybe you can offer that through a level of in terms of certifications, right?
Right.
Something that brings value to the customer. And in terms of community, how now you have that material and then you can put that into a community that can, be open to your imagination, an exclusive place for them to go into members only, right?
Right.
Club, where
Right.
the customer can network, they can attend different events, they can have early access to tools, different features.
Oh,
You could
great.
charge them to access that, monetize that through sponsorships and things of that nature.
Right.
So I think that it's limitless on the things you can do with support, and people don't think about that, and they don't pivot their thinking in regards to monetizing on all of that information that's totally available to them day in and day out. And I'll add one last thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and this is beautiful in my mind, because it's not just for one type of industry versus the other. It could be
Right.
the IT industry, it could be the hospitality industry, it could be
That's right.
the energy industry, it could be any industry. Whatever is under the sun can be plug and play with all of that information. Everybody has a customer. And if you take care of the customer, you listen to the customer, you take that data and you transform that data into a product that
Yeah.
is valuable to the customer, you all of a sudden opened up a gold mine.
Exactly. I love that. I love that.